Yeah, it's your man Hakeem Chow live and direct. BDP all day, every day. All we do, spark Madism on the Madism TV show. Man, today is a hot one. I'm telling you. This is something I've been waiting for since I started the Madism TV platform. It's certain folks that just, they mean a little more. You know what I mean? Like all my guests are family, friends, you know, usually more than just, business, usually more than just, but this brother right here, you know what I mean? It's that guy, Mike City, Mike Flowers, producer extraordinaire. And, we're gonna get into it. I hope we see some friends in the comment section chiming in. We're gonna have a nice family discussion, reminisce, talk about some current affairs. Yeah. So this is Hakeem Green, channel live and direct BDP all day, every day. All we do, spark madism. We set the show off with a song, so we can get out there and promote, invite people to the conversation, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. All my guests in the building. If you don't know about Madism TV, I need you to hit that subscribe button. I need you to like this video. I need you to share this stream. Bring people to the conversation. Let them know what's going down. We got Mike City in the building. Damn. With that said, let's go.
It was love at first sight. I know from the way she looked at me. Her eyes said it all. Long days and nights we spent until she dropped the bomb on me. When she said that she was unhappily married with children, and I wish I never met her at all. Even though I love her so, but she got love for me. But she still belongs to someone else. It hurts so bad, for sure, because she wants to be with me. But she cannot be with me. She chose to stay at home so they could be a family for the children. But what about me? And I wish I never met her. Even though I love her so, and she got love for me. Oh, yeah. And she still belongs to someone else. Maybe in another life, things could be the way we both desired. It's a catch-22. Either way it went, someone had to lose. And I wish I never met her. Oh, even though I love her so, she's got love for me. But she still belongs to someone else. At all. Even though still belongs to someone else. I wish I never met her at all. Oh, I wouldn't hurt so much inside. Oh, I wouldn't feel this pain if I never met her at all, at all, at all. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Drink.
Let's get rid of him. Advertisements. My bad. What up,
Peace to the
brother?
God.
Peace to the OD. What's going on? Yeah, man.
I'm
And-
here. I'm present.
Oh man, are you? I just listened to that song, bro. It takes me right back. And that's
You called it.
that's a whole book. That's a whole book. That's a whole book. However, you got a
Yeah.
whole book that leads us up to that point. You know what I mean? So first and foremost, I have Mike Flowers, aka Mike City, from Willingboro, New Jersey, and just for the
Yep.
folks out there, let people know where you come from and how you got involved in music, my brother.
Man, listen, I'm born in Southwest Philly, and then we trekked over to Willingboro, South Jersey, which is between Trenton and Camden. And it's crazy because even out here, I still be telling people like Willingboro, like they supposed to know what it is.
Yo, right now
I be
people
like-
know what no, but right now Willingboro's popping.
Yeah, it's a lot of us come from there,
A lot of folks that come from Willingboro, so the legacy is spreading.
It's something definitely in the water, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, but I came, man, my whole family, my father was singing professionally gospel, my mom sang, my grandma sang. It just, I grew up in it, you know what I'm saying? Grew up singing in church, singing in choir, dabbled in it. And then the crazy part about it is when I went to college, I wasn't even knowing the music tip like that. I was like, I'm gonna do the business thing, right?
Mhm.
But then Boys the Men started popping off, and Wanye's stepmom used to be my homeroom teacher. I was like, oh, it's music or bust.
What? Said Wanye's
100.
mom was your
And she was a hot
is your
too.
music teacher. Man, that's
Wanye's
crazy.
stepmom was my homeroom teacher.
Your
And she
homeroom
was the
teacher.
choir, and she was my homeroom teacher,
Mm.
Miss Thornton, and she was the choir director.
Mm.
And she was Johnny Blaze too.
Wow.
Everybody knew her, yup, 100.
That's crazy.
So I was like,
this-
let me change to music. Let me
junior high,
focus.
this is junior high school, high school.
This is when I got out because I went to North Carolina.
Oh, this
Central. I
is
was like, I'm gonna be a
this-
business major.
Wait, but this is at North. She said Wanye's stepmom was
Oh, she was my homeroom teacher in junior high.
in junior high, right? So that's when music. The first,
So I know her since. Yeah, so Wanye was a shorty back then.
Mm-hmm.
He was a shorty, and he ended up going to Willingboro too.
Yeah, but you were singing in the choir and stuff in junior high school and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was singing in the choir.
Right. Okay.
No question. I was singing in the choir with her in junior high school, and then in high school I was singing in the choir. I was, you know what I'm saying? So I was always in it, church in the choir, singing. I've been singing forever.
Right.
But the crazy part about it is
Mhm.
I took a real liking to hip hop back then too.
Of course.
So
I mean, Philadelphia, bro.
That's how everything started getting crazy.
That's like, in terms of the culture, we talk about the Bronx, we talk about New York City, but Philly is extremely important to the culture in terms of hip hop specifically. The first label was what's the label out of Philadelphia? The
Pop Art, when they put
Biz
in them on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pop Art. Yeah, exactly. New York artists had to go to Philly to get their records out. Shantae, all them, exactly. Juice Crew, exactly. So Philly, in terms of your love for hip hop, it just makes sense coming from the Philadelphia area. You know what I mean? So
hey Hawk, how about this? Jeff used to come DJ at our high school gym jams, and he would bring over Will and everybody else to get on the mic.
DJ Jazzy Jeff. You know what I mean?
The
So
greatest DJ ever.
so now when you seeing this go down in high school, you know, like the culture, it was just what we was doing. It wasn't really, we didn't call it the culture. So you see somebody like DJ Jazzy Jeff Fresh Prince coming to your high school in 1986. What does that do for your mind state?
It was just like, it's like you're right. We didn't know what it was going on. We was right in the middle of it. You
Hmm.
got hip hop artists coming down. We going to shows.
Hmm.
I'm sure they wasn't getting the bag back then. You know what I'm saying? I remember seeing, remember Strafe set it off.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
I remember
yep, yep.
Strafe came, yes,
Hmm.
Strafe came in Rock Forest. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure what is it? The dudes who the singing rapper dudes from Staten Island,
Force and D's.
Force and D's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So being in Jersey, and you know from being up there, it's like it was kind of like second nature of us, because those dudes are just coming down from New York, and it's like that's an hour drive to
Hmm.
South Jersey or Philly, whatever it is. So it's like we kind of got it was a privilege for us. Like we was seeing the whole culture actually develop.
Yeah, because we talk about Schoolie D, you talking about Lady
No
B,
question.
you talk about
Yup.
Richie Rich and EST and Three Times Dope,
EST
like
the home. Yeah.
like you a very rich part of
The
the culture
Fabulous
is
Life, all those dudes.
all that.
Yeah, like
Yeah, yep, yep, yep. So it's like your love for hip hop. You say you said you although you were singing, you in the choir, you just had a liking to hip hop because it's just folks that don't know. Channel Live's second album was damn near entirely produced by Mike City. So we got some dope
who
bangers
went
on
to high
there.
school with
Well,
who went to high school with Tough.
we're tough. We got we skipped
Okay.
over. We fast
Okay.
forward.
Okay.
Let's rewind. Let's rewind back. All right.
Let's
So
go back.
you're in high school. You also play football. No, were you a
Yeah, I played
football
football in
player?
high school. Yup.
You're a football player, right? Because when Tough
Yup.
to God first, he said, "Yo, my boy from Willenboro, yo, he got this demo. I gotta get this to you." I said, "Yo, this is crazy because I know him to be a football player, but these songs coming out of his mouth is like, yo, it's crazy." So when he played it for me, like I didn't have no, of course, there's no Instagram, there's no social media, there's none of that. Like I didn't have a visual
Right.
of you, but then meeting you and I think first time was Memphis. Was it Memphis? First time we met in the physical.
No, I think we had met in New York before that, and then we went to Memphis.
And we
I
went
think it
to
was
went to
before that.
Memphis.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, your
Yeah.
look, what wasn't that of a quote unquote, R&B singer, what people were looking for an R&B singer at that time, but your
Right.
connection in writing songs for, like where does that come from? Where you get inspired to you see a vision and then you see a vision for somebody else. You also have visions for yourself, and we're gonna talk about that as well. But you as a songwriter, producer, to say, I'm gonna write and create in this vein. I got this for these people. Oh, I know, like where does that come from?
I don't know. I think it just come from me being a fan of so many people, like, and just embodying and taking in all the culture. Like you said, from hip hop and kind of, because you think about it, we grew up around it all. Like, so you get the pirate stations with hip hop, we had house, you know what I'm saying? So obviously gospel. I grew up on Commission, uh, the Winans, the Clark sisters. I remember seeing Take Six before the album really even popped off.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I went and saw them in Chester, Pennsylvania, and I was like, this is the greatest thing I ever heard. So just doing all that, and then every weekend we had the pirate reggae stations coming on. So it's
Hmm.
kind of like, and then Philly itself is just some of the, it's like the energy in Philly musically is just some of the, I can't even describe it. WDAS back then it was popping. Like,
Hmm.
I thought Earth, Wind, and Fire was from Philly. They played it so much. Or Stevie Wonder, you know what I'm saying? So it's like just the energy that you get growing up, and then you're like, let me try this out and everything. Let me try what I do.
Mm.
Put it
Okay,
all
so
together.
when you first started to try to do what you do as a producer, what's some of the early drum machines and tools you were using to craft your sound?
What was I think I had a I had a Yamaha. Even when I went to college, in my dorm room, I had a DX 100
Mm-hmm.
and a Yamaha little drum machine. I used to be up in there just messing around making beats because it was mine,
Mm-hmm.
gonna have some fun and everything. But then when we started making joints, actually, we started using like well, somebody programmed the rolling, is it the rolling D50 or something?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the rolling the
Mm-hmm.
OG the
Mm-hmm.
OG Daniel and Durham when I was there because I started making records in college with the homie Ed and my man
Mm.
K Sean.
Big shout out to
Ed named me
Insecurity.
Mike City. You know what I'm saying?
Really? Well, okay, yeah. How'd that come about? Big shout out to Ed Mulligan. That's my guy right there.
Right.
That's family.
That's
Family.
the guy, right?
All right, that's the guy.
So me and Ed, we used to we be walking around campus singing, "That's the way love is." You know what I'm saying? 10
Ten
City.
City, Ten
We be
City.
walking around singing 10 City, right? And
I never knew that.
devotion. We singing all the 10 City joints, right?
That's right.
And
Yeah.
Ed was like, "Yo, who you think you 10 City?" He said, "You Mike City."
City.
And it just stuck.
Ooh, bro, I never knew that.
It just stuck. Yeah, and
Man.
it's crazy because I was talking to Byron Stingley probably right before Christmas, and I was telling him, and he was tripping out. He was like, "Yo, I can't believe that your name is off three to 10 City." He's like, "You're tripping me out right now." I said, "On God, it is."
Yeah, and to see the stuff that you're doing right now, it's almost 360, would you say?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to go back to that because it's like that's what we do and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that never left me because actually we was in college. Our first joint we came out with was like a low key house type of joint. So we was
Mm,
on that back in what was this like 89, 88? No,
thank you.
88, 89, 90. We was on that then. Yeah.
Yo, please let them know because we had these debates all the time about house music, Jersey, Chicago, and we know Chicago is the birth, quote unquote, the birthplace of but what we was doing in the 80s, early 80s. You go to a Jersey barbecue, a Jersey picnic, you hear what we call house music. We didn't call it out, but we called it house music. These are mid
Yeah, because
80s,
it was like
early
it
80s.
was disc it was disco. It was disco back then. But it's crazy, right? So we talked about how Philly is so hip hop, right?
Uh-huh.
The first time I was really on some house music kick, really,
Hmm.
like we was seniors in high school and we went up to an AKA party at Rutgers, right? They playing house all night. So I'm a senior in high school. I'm getting love from the AKAs at Rutgers. I'm you know, me, I got a
Yo,
mouthpiece. I'm up in
ladies and gentlemen, for a young high school black male, especially, yeah, we only speak for us. Going to Rutgers
yeah, you know
University
what I mean?
is a whole mind blower. It's a whole nother level of whole nother level. So you sophomore, junior,
Right.
senior, you go up to the next level. It's a lot of grown
Yo,
things walking around.
and listen, we was on Livingston campus. I
Oh
remember we
Lord,
was in
Lord,
Livingston
Lord.
campus,
Ooh.
right? So
Uh-huh.
we up in there, and it was with the AKAs. I was like, yo, and they played house all
All
night. That's
night
all they played
long.
all
Yeah,
night
yeah,
long.
yeah, yeah. Yo, big shout
So
out to the
then
mob. Big
after
shout out to the
that,
mob, by the way. My bad. I'm sorry.
okay. So then after that, when everybody from North Jersey coming home, like Tough, my
Hmm.
man Joe, so Tough going to Montclair with you,
Hmm.
Joe going to Ramapo, and
Yeah,
everybody, people going to Fairleigh Dickinson, Keene, Rutgers, everybody coming home. It ain't just hip hop now.
yeah,
They like,
yeah.
yo, son, you got to check out this house. They like the ladies like house music. You
Yeah.
got to go with the ladies like.
The word is
You
bond.
know what I mean? So
Yeah. See, I'm a Jersey head. Everybody know that. East Stars, New Jersey, big up, big up, big up, big up. So, house music is a part of the blood. It just is. But also hip hop is a
right.
part of the blood. And at one point, it was a strong marriage between hip hop and house. It was called hip house. Latifah, Jungle
And that was
Brothers, whole,
popping.
and that was popping, right?
Right.
You cats rhyming over house beats, right? That was a whole episode. So
Yup.
I was supposed to go to Texas Tech, right? And I was going to the city my whole senior year. I was every weekend I was in the city going to the clubs, right? So when I got accepted, some of my friends was like, "Yo, bro, you never been to Texas?" Like people who've been to Texas was like, "Yo, you ever been to Lubbock, Texas? Do you know what's in Lubbock, Texas? It's just like nothing, like cactus. It's
Right.
like there's no club scene. There's nothing. If you don't live there, if you don't live in that area, you get stuck on campus. You get stuck on campus. You sure you want to do this?" So
Right.
I went to my guidance counselor. I was like, "Yo, I gotta make." Got on the phone with Wagner College in Staten Island. Said, "Yo, got a young guy here. I think he'd be good fit for your school." Said, "Send him on over." I got in. I went to Wagner and majored in Club 101. I was in the party in the city. I was in the city. So to speed it up, I transferred to Montclair State, right?
Right.
So of course, Montclair State legendary college parties. So I go to my first Montclair State college party. So I'm in the circle, getting it in. House music. I'm battling these two dark-skinned cats. It's two dudes gonna jump me. So this other green-eyed cat slid over to the side, and me and this green-eyed cat handled these two jokers. The green-eyed cat happened to be Tough the God from Channel Live.
And I know who the dark skin guy was too.
Who was the dark-skinned cat?
Wyclef.
And
Wyclef.
And Broswell.
Yo, because when we was in Sony, Clef told me, he said, I went to college with your guys. He's like, I went to college with your guys.
Yeah, the dusty jokers off right past on what was really good. But that's just again the marriage between house music and hip hop and the birth of the culture.
Right.
From that, go Jersey. Yeah. So
right.
All right, so you're in North Carolina,
yeah.
Boys the Men pop off. His stepmom was your homeroom teacher. You like, all right, and it's trying to take it serious. It's time to get focused, right? What was your major in school? What did you major in?
I actually majored in voice. I got a Bachelor of Arts in concentration of voice because I was business at first, but then I was like, I was one of those, I would say, back then, because we didn't really know what the music business really was or where it was going to go.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something. I believed in myself. I took a shot on myself because even after I graduated, I didn't go to get certified to teach. I went to barber school so I could make some money, so I could buy equipment and certify myself in getting better in production.
Every day I'm hustling.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be teaching. I know how my movement is. You know what I'm saying? And that probably wouldn't have lasted because as soon as some unrefined kids start talking slick, Jersey coming out of me.
Oh yeah. It is what it is. Trust me, I know.
We have an edge.
So I was a school teacher, and it gets rough and tumble.
Right.
But
right.
It's all love. It's all good. So anyway, you said, you know what? I'm gonna gamble on me. I'm gonna bet on me. Picked up the Clippers. Started, giving cuts, doing cuts, and producing, writing songs. And what's some of the early? Because you was already doing things with Capital as a matter of fact before I Wish.
Well, here's the crazy part about it. So back in the day, I was able to really cut 3 or 4 days a week, and then the rest I could focus on producing, getting better. Because it's like you got to put your 10,000 hours in. It's just what it is, right? And I probably put in 20 back then. I remember the funny thing, they had a hip hop conference in DC one time, and me and my man Trap. Who else went with me? Me, Trap. Maybe my man Rick. We went up there, and Puff was on the panel. This is how everything is even crazy. This might be 95, 96.
Okay.
Or maybe 94, but Puff was on the panel, right? And I was like, yo. He started asking questions, and I held up a sign. I wrote a sign, I said, yo, put me on because I'm nice.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Dead ass. My man Rich will verify it. I said,
Ah,
yo,
the world is a crazy place, bro. The world is a
I
crazy
said,
place.
yo,
Uh-huh.
I said, yo,
Motherfucker.
put me on because
Uh-huh.
I'm nice.
Yeah, nigga.
Trust me. Right? He's like, word? So fast forward that same weekend, I meet Heavy D.
Mhm.
I meet my lawyer back in the day, Reggie Osei,
Rest in peace.
right? Rest in peace, Reggie, right? I meet my lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
I meet my one of my good friends, Casualty. He was A&R at he had it wasn't Priority. He was at Hollywood Basic back then.
Mm-hmm.
And he had Organized Confusion because I met them back then. That's that same weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because when Reggie officially became our lawyer after that, he was like, "Yo, I remember you did that." He was like, "Yo, you willed that." He said, "Your energy willed that."
Yeah. Flag in the ground. Flag. I'm here.
Straight up. I was like, "You gotta deal with me." Straight up, right? So fast forward after that, we doing independent records, we grinding, we going back and forth with Atlanta. Me and my man Slice just passed away. My dog, one of my best friend, Grandmaster
Rest in
Slice.
peace.
We grinding. We go get a deal with Freeze Priority for a rap group. I go
Oh,
get a
sorry about
deal with Inner Sound. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? With Will. I go get a deal with Inner Sound. We had my homeboys Lost Souls. We had a deal with Ichiban. So we started to move and everything, right? But what happened was when it really started really popping off for me, I took a chance on myself again. I flew myself out to the Gavin sessions in the Bay.
That's a good
I
investment.
said, yo, I'm gonna go.
That's a
I
great
said, I'm gonna go
investment
get
right
in the
there.
mix,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go get in the mix. So for me going out there getting the mix, right? I got tight with RBL Posse, rapping Forte and
Yeah.
them,
Can,
and dudes like that. So
can I
my
just
first major placements. Go
can I
ahead.
just pause you for 1 second? So the Gavin
Okay.
was a college radio music conference, and it moves around the country. It was usually in the Bay Area, right? But this is a college radio
Yeah.
before streaming, before the internet, before that was the one of the that's one of the ways you got on in the music industry was to deal with college radio because they would break artists, they would play new music, and you can get an honest reaction from a market. So these conferences would go on around the country. Gavin was one of the most
Jack
popular
the
ones.
Rapper.
Jack the Rapper. Big shout out to
Yep.
Timbisa from the Gavin. I shout her out.
Yep.
So just so folks know what that. So you like, you know what? I'm gonna go where the people are. Take a trip out to the Gavin,
Yep.
and then you started polying and take it from there.
Next thing you know, I started getting major label placements with rapping Forte on Virgin.
Mm,
That was my first like. Now, mind you, by this time, I'm already rocking with my man Mark Sparks too
yeah.
from Charlotte. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
Spark did
mhm,
Shoot for Salt and Pepper.
mhm,
He did I Like It with Grand Poobah.
mhm.
So I'm already rocking with Sparks at this time as well, right? But then, you know, at the same time, y'all had signed with Capital, right? Around this time, y'all signed with Capital. But my boy AG Thomas signed with Capital too, and Malik
Crazy,
signed both of y'all,
crazy. Now,
right?
how did you know
So,
Malik? How did you?
so AG had a session in Virginia Beach because he was through Yag Food Front. I went to college. Everything is connected. I
Crazy,
went to college with one of the dudes from Yag Food Front, Brad, right?
right?
And I went
Crazy.
to college with Malik. I mean,
Uh-huh.
with AG. So AG was like, "Yo, come to Virginia Beach. I want you to do some joints with me, right?" And so I went there. So we working on joints and everything. And I see Malik. He got this big old afro all out and everything.
Yeah.
And we just and we poly and everything, right? So and this is 94 actually. I'm sorry, let me backtrack. This is 94. He polying.
We
He
just
said,
got
"Yo, you know
signed.
what?"
We just got signed.
He said, "Yo, you nice. You got to come to LA." Now, mind you, I was already working with AG,
Hmm.
and I was actually already working with Sunshine because once again, me and Sunshine went to college together. She was
Hmm.
leaving and I was coming in.
Now
So we get married, right?
that's a whole nother
Yeah,
chapter we got to get to. So
that's a whole other thing.
we
But
got to get that.
it's all
Yeah,
related.
uh-huh.
It's all relationship related, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Malik said, "Yo, you coming to LA?" So I fly to LA with AG the same weekend as the Chargers and the 49ers playing in the Super Bowl,
Mm.
right? So he puts us up in the Hollywood Roosevelt. That day, it was some event going on. I walk downstairs, excuse me, and I meet Aaliyah and Brandy at the same time.
It's crazy.
On a whim. On a whim, right? The next day, I meet one of my other homie from a long time now, Razcast. Me and
Wow.
Raz link up the next
Shout out to
day.
Razcast.
That
My guy.
listen, that that night, I'm over Regina King Arena house
My
with her,
peoples.
with Raina, Regina, and
Yeah,
Ian.
yeah.
So that's how
The
that
peoples
me
right
and
there.
Raina and Regina, we go
It's
way back. This is like
family. Yeah.
95.
Right. Early. But see, yeah, I
Cause
got
it be so many relationships that people don't even
yeah.
be knowing. Like
Well, like because
just cause I don't mess with people online,
so the Malik he's
I got a
talking
lot of
about
relationships going.
in the song Matters and when KRS goes, big shout out to Matt, Ello, and Malik. That's the Malik Mike
Yeah.
City's talking about. Malik Levy was our A&R at Capitol. He signed us. Malik Levy was introduced to us through Amelia Moore, who at the time was at Atlantic. Chris was managing. She sent the tape out to Malik. Malik calls us up. Now, mind you, this is all happening, like you said, Mike City, all in the same time. Mike City and Tuffy went to high school together. They peoples from high school.
Right.
So it's all this energy that's happening all at the same time and like a little whirlwind. And we don't really, well, I don't meet Mike until 90.
No, I know when I met you. No, I met you before that. I
Mhm.
met you. We met in Miami
Mhm.
at the other convention. How can I
How
be
could I
down?
how could I
That's
be
where I
down?
met you.
Wow.
Yes, because I came. We were staying at the governor's. We were staying at the governor's. Remember?
Mm.
We were staying at the governor hotel, and that's when I came down there, and I came to y'all show,
Mm.
and y'all joint had just came out, and it was going crazy in Miami too.
Crazy. Yeah, that was a great time. That was a wild
Yup,
weekend. That was a wild weekend. How can I be down weekend in
yup.
90,
It was
90, 94, 95?
95, right? Yeah.
95. 90, but I'm saying you're like, you
Yup.
meet Malik in 94.
Yup.
94. We get signed to Capitol the top of 94. No.
Yeah.
We
Y'all
got
got signed, I think, 94.
we got signed to Capitol top of 94. Right. So I'm saying all of this is going on, and we don't have no idea unless I didn't think you and Tuffy were connected like that. I don't think y'all were communicating in that way at that
No,
time.
he was just my old head from home. He was my
Right.
old head.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So now you work with A.G. Thomas and you're working with the Rough Riders right before
No, let's before we get to the Rough Riders. Before we get to Rough Riders,
Don't speed. Don't speed.
yeah, I was going to do a production deal because Malik heard Sunshine back then. He was like, "Oh, you got one with her." He said, "I know what this is." He was like, "This Mary 2.0." He said, "This young Mary." He said, "You hear the scratchiness in her voice? I know what this is."
That pain.
But what happened was, if you remember, because you got caught up in it, Capitol shut down the black music department.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't do the production deal. I think y'all ended up going to EMI.
We went to EMI.
AG, right? AG got dropped, but then AG goes to Rough Rider.
Hmm.
After that, he got with a group and they went to Rough Rider.
Hmm.
That's when we can pick up. That's when everything started getting really crazy. When I was coming up there and building with y'all, and that's when it really started going crazy. Because right around that time is when Carl got signed to Bad Boy.
Bad Boy. Well,
and y'all was under the same management.
Well, Carl got signed. No. Big shout out to Charles Farrar. Big shout out to Troy Taylor. That's where I met Carl. We were
piece of the characters.
Yeah, piece of the characters. We were signing characters. And then Carl, well, we left in 93 to 92, got with Chris in 93. Carl went to Bad Boy in 97, 96, 97,
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
like 90, probably 97-ish. And
Yeah.
and then we had the spot over in Brooklyn, and then we in the Land Cruiser, Tuffy's Land Cruiser, and he's like, "Yo, no, let me rewind." So, gotta tell the story. On the other side of the Madism blow up, see, of the other side, there's the 95, 96, and then it was 97, 98. Your man Hawk was trudging it through selling weed. I was the weed man. I
Creeping
was,
through the cracks.
yeah, creeping through the guys. Just one year, one of the regular cats that had entree into the industry. And I get a call from Andre Harrell, his office. You in the area? So
And you used to smoke Dre out. Rest in peace, Dre. You used to smoke Dre out.
it's my guy right there. Rest in peace, Dre. Salute to a legend. So I get there. He's in a meeting with Carl, and he doesn't know that me and Carl are like the best of friends. Has no idea. Like me and Carl are with each other damn near like every day for like
Right.
5-6 years. Carl is on Channel Live stuff. Carl is in the Is It a Dream or Dream We Been Living video. You know what I'm saying? So they having a discussion.
Carl was coming to Willingboro.
We brought Carl down to Willingboro. This is like 90. This is like 94. This is before the Channel Live release. This is before Madism. Yeah, no doubt. Damn. So I get to the meeting, and the meeting's about Carl's release and them looking for that single, that joint, that the 6-song sample I had going out. Great reviews from the tastemakers out there, from the DJs, but they were still looking for that one that could just that let off, that banger, that shit. And Carl is a fucking OG legend on the R&B circuit, on the underground. Carl put in a lot of work. I mean, I watched Carl put in a lot of work over a lot of years.
Chaz, Nels.
Exactly. Chaz and Wilson's, Nels. Just, big shout out to Ron Grant, rest in peace. Like, when you in a
Rest
certain...
in peace, OG.
Oh, man, Carl was there like the Madonna Tupac days. He was up in the mix singing, getting his chops right. So he's ready to go. And he's like, well, you don't have that joint yet. It was a little disappointing. It was a little disappointing. And then about a week later, Tuff's like, yo, man, my man Mike got some joints. Now, there was this joint. What was the joint?
The When You Hurt joint.
When You Hurt.
Yeah.
To this day, the world is waiting on that right now. To this day, the world.
No, I actually ended up. I did it with Urban Mystic. Now I actually did a version with Tank. Tank is a beast, but Tank was having label issues right then. So we wound up didn't do it with Tank. We did it with Urban Mystic. You know what I'm saying? He got the smoky southern voice. But no, so we had the I Wish and When You Hurt. Now, mind you, when he's playing all this stuff for you, I'm in Yonkers with the Rough Riders and 100 dogs.
All right, stop, pause. 100 dogs, Rough Riders, DMX. Can you tell us about that?
God.
Please? Tell us about that, please.
So once again, AG's my guy. He said, yo, I want you to come work with me up there in Yonkers and everything. I was like, all right, cool, because by this time I had been coming back and forth to LA with Spark. And we supposed to do a deal with Island or something, and it didn't go through, but it was all good. I was like, you know what? I got some other people. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing and figure something else out. So I go to Yonkers. Yo, DNY got us up in the crib. I swear it was like a kennel. It was like at least 7 pits up in the kennel, up in the crib, right? Yeah. I go to the studio. We up in the studio. X got the dogs up in there. It's like the whole, and everybody from a lot of people from Rough Rider, a lot of people that just came home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So People looking over your shoulder like this better be hot. Looking over your shoulder like this better be hot and everything. But it's crazy though because those guys always had love for me. Y,
Mhm.
D, Saeed, you know what I'm saying? So it's like those dudes, and even the sister, right? So I go by the office, and it's crazy because I was this close to being a Rough Rider. And once you tell the story about how it happened, I'm gonna tell you how me and a couple of Rough Riders came to
Mhm.
the studio and Puff kicked us out because he was going through
Wow.
the thing with the
All right.
locks.
So to pick up on that, Tough plays the tape, right? Listen to. I
Right.
wish it might be fourth or fifth on the joint. All the joints he's playing me, Cancun. He's playing me joints.
Cancun, yup.
You know what I'm saying? He's playing me joints. So I get that, and it's just a chord. Dun, 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 dun. It was love. Stop. I'm in the back seat, mind you. Stop. Yo, God, what, God, what, God? Yo, rewind that back.
Hey, he had the Montero banging it, right?
I hate the green Land Cruiser. He had the Land Cruiser, right?
Okay.
The big
Okay.
joint, the big bubble joint. We said, play the joint. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like this. It's like it felt so homey, so soulful, so churchy. It was love. Can't go wrong with love. Starts off with love. Can't go wrong. Like, and then we go through it, and then man, just how'd that come about, bro? I know you probably told this story a million times, but just for the people, man, how'd that come about?
Bro, it's a true story, man. Like I started
Mm.
messing with a with a married woman. I didn't know she was married, God. I didn't know she was married. I didn't know.
Mm.
She spending time with me. I didn't know she had a family. You know what I'm saying? We popping off. And it's crazy because the song just poured out of me and everything. It was like therapy. But the
Mm.
crazy part about this whole thing is like, and the crazy part about it is, you know what I'm saying? Like she was Nubian, like she was black as the night. Now I remember I had to go. This after the song had came out, I had to go back and vote because I was still voting in North Carolina, right? Get my license stuff. I saw her from a distance again. I almost got her again, huh? Oh God, I almost got her again.
Oh God.
Yo, I was like, yo, the energy was crazy, right? But because I always say, I was like, you know what? I owe her Ruth Chris or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Right?
always felt like I owed her because the crazy part about it is if you remember when we was doing the Channel Live album and everything, I was well content on just being a hip hop producer.
Mm.
Remember, like I was like,
Mm.
I could just do beats and just do my thing, just
Mhm.
I rock out with everything else and everything. We'll go from there. Like, cause y'all started bringing meth and everybody through. So it was that
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
part was about to pop off.
Mhm.
The hip hop side was like,
Yeah.
all right, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, cool.
Mhm.
Because, but no, go ahead. And I'll
No,
and
no,
I'll tie it together.
it's just I wish I never met her. Like, it's like how that
Yeah.
come about, like the mood of it, how'd you,
The pain.
the
It's the
pain,
pain, man. It's just
yeah,
the
yeah,
pain.
the pain, man.
But
So
I but the beat is the one too, it's the hip hop.
thank you.
So it got the lean, you know what I'm saying?
Cut,
So
cut. All right, let me. All right,
that's the
so
difference.
all right, so I take the cassette, mind you, cassette, y'all. I take the cassette to Carl
Right.
the next day. He was like, "Word, your man, huh? Word, your man, Tough's man. Oh, okay, okay, all right. Because
In North
he
Carolina.
in North
Right.
Carolina, because he getting
Right.
demos galore. He's just we hitting them with joints from out of everywhere. Niggas feed him,
Right.
feed him, feed him. We trying to come up with that joint that Drake was talking about. So I put the joint in, same shit. Dun, 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 dun. It was love. Zzz. Shit goes, listen to the whole thing, stops it. Yo, where's he at right now? Yo, he up in Yonkers right now. Word? All right, I'll be right back. So he leaves. He calls me about an hour and a half, 2 hours later. Yo, when can your man get in the studio? Puff One cut the record. And when
Well,
he
wait a
went,
minute. Okay, so let me interject. So the drama in between that is
uh-oh.
Puff and the Locks is going through beef right then. That's when the Free Locks campaign going on,
Oh
right?
shit.
So I show up to Daddy's house with AG and my man Raj, who's with the Rough Riders, and Raj got on the biggest Rough Riders shirt there is. Like you couldn't miss it, right? So I'm gonna give you kind of verbatim what Puff, because now I know all these guys afterwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was Puff was in the studio. I think Conrad was in there.
Mm.
I think the homie Bobby Springsteen was in there, and
Oh
Hard Pierre was in there, right? So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
those are all bad boy dudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Puff comes in there and I guess he see us and he see the Rough Riders shirt. Almost verbatim, he goes, "Yo, who's all these niggas up in here? Who's all these extra niggas up in here?" Blah, 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 blah. He he hits us up with that, right? He said, "Yo, y'all know I'm working on my album and everything. What's all this? What's all this going on and everything, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, I'm sitting there thinking like I done told dude a few years before at Howard University, put me on. I'm nice. You'll see, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he kicks us out. He kicks us out the studio. He kicks us out. He's like, "This Carl, man, he want to play us this joint." He kicks us out. So we never got to play the joint, right?
See how
I
God
go
works.
back to Yonkers.
See how God
Yeah,
works.
I go I go back to Yonkers. I think the next day or 2 days later,
Yeah.
Tough was like, "Yo,
Uh-huh.
meet me in the Bronx," right? Tough says, "Meet me in the Bronx. We got a session tonight. I think at Sound on Sound or Electric Lady. I think it's Sound on Sound, right? Meet me in the Bronx." He said, "Cause I ain't coming to Yonkers because Yonkers is different." He said, "Meet me." So I meet him in the Bronx. I meet the God in the Bronx, right?
Uh-huh.
So we go get with Carl at the studio. Carl had the session booked out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we up there. I'm tracking the beat and everything. I'm tracking the beat, and I don't know if Carl was tired or he was smoked out. I don't know what it was. Whatever
Right,
was
both.
going on,
Peace to God. Peace to God.
whatever was whatever was
CTZ.
going on, he starts cutting the hook to "I Wish" like about 2 o'clock in the morning. So we don't finish there.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, we either end up at Electric Lady. So after that
I
was the
think we
prelim. So we end up at Electric Lady and Sony,
yeah. Wait a minute.
right? Electric, because I remember we had to go to Electric Lady because Tough brought the dog
Well,
up there,
at
and
what point
we saw
was y'all
Tretch
at,
in the street.
what y'all at Unique at one point? Not Unique. Quad.
Nah, not Unique.
Quad around the
No,
corner with
I he had other sessions that quiet, but we actually cut I Wish at Sound on Sound, Electric Lady, because I remember Tough brought Caesar the dog, and before we went inside, we saw Tretch on the street, and Tretch said, "Tough, what you doing with that horse?" Because you remember Caesar's big.
It's big,
Tretch was
yeah.
like, "Hey, yo." And we was up in the village, and Caesar parked the village. You know what I'm saying? And Tretch was like, "Yo, what you doing with that horse?" Right? So we did, and then we topped it off at Sony Studios, because remember I went back and wrote a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and wrote a bridge and everything, and we topped it off there. So those are the 3 studios we did it at.
Wait,
And if you remember,
you ain't
I was
right.
supposed
Was
to
that?
do
You ain't right. What was that cut?
right. Remember, that was cut at Electric Lady because I was supposed to do that with what's her name? That was on she was the female that was on in the movie with Lauren Hill with Sister Act. I forget her name right now, but she was in Sister Act, and I think she from DC. And I was supposed to cut "You Ain't Right" with her. And Carl was like, "I need that record. We gonna do it." And he was like, "This is my session. Pull it up. We gonna do it."
Speaking about
And that was that.
talking about house music. I don't know if you would classify that as a house record, but it's definitely got that.
But it is house though, because it's cut time. I
There you
actually,
go. There you.
it's a but you got it though. It's like it's house meet like reggae ska because I did it cut time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
when you
I'm
say cut
working
time,
hard.
mm, like I was gonna say,
So I
explain
got
what
the
cut.
four on the floor.
Okay.
So I got the four on the floor, right? So instead of
Uh,
going do, I'm going do, ta, do, ta, ta.
ooh.
So I'm basically mixing reggae with house.
Mm, like Sky House.
Yeah, yeah, whatever it was. Carl from
Mm,
Chicago, so he know what it was. He was
he
like,
knew what it
"Yeah, I
was.
want that."
Yeah. Now going back to that point with I Wish and For You Ain't Right. The way Carl delivered the song was so in tune with what you did on the demo. And can you just talk about that,
Right.
Carl, as I don't know if he was the perfect artist. I think so, in my humble opinion.
He
I'm
was.
sure yeah, yep.
He was because he the way he translated it, right?
Hmm.
And then come to because right now, me and Carl, that's the bro, right? But we didn't know we like similar things. Like, so he's on some Michael Frank. I'm on some Steely Dan. So we
Yeah.
start mixing all these things that we on together.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when he started going, she chose to stay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we got that. We started doing our thing, and it's
Hmm.
like, yeah, this is what we supposed to do. And
Hmm.
then he go back to the guy, but she still belong. So he added that element and all
Hmm.
the craziness in. He
Hmm.
had to give you Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it was a beautiful marriage.
Man, that's amazing, bro. That's definitely a beautiful
Yeah,
marriage.
man.
Yeah, big shout out to Carl Thomas. Big shout out to Puffy for recognizing.
But I
But
got but you was there with me though. This is when I knew it was a hit, and you did too, before even the label knew it was a hit. Remember Puff had a listening party,
Hmm.
and I think Tough had to go to Jamaica or something, and I came right back from South Jersey, and I met you up there. Remember when Jay-Z stopped us in the elevator?
Oh
He
yeah, oh
said,
yeah,
yo.
yeah.
He
Jay,
said, Home said, Jay said, yo,
yeah.
that record reminds me of when I used to be on the bus with my mom in Brooklyn.
Hmm.
Me and you looked at each other. You was like, yeah, this one of the ones. And they
Yeah,
hadn't even made, because remember, we was just making an album then. They hadn't even decided anything.
yeah, yeah.
But Hove and Dame was like, yeah, y'all got one with
Hmm.
this one. Straight
Yeah,
up.
yeah. And I wish I never met her at all. Big shout out to
Yeah,
Hov. Big shout out to Hov. Big shout out to
no
Hov for
question.
that one right there. Yeah, man. And like just the real way that that song touched so many people, because you had brothers in the pen singing that joint, bro. Like I seen Jokers hardcore with tears in their eyes, with their fist ball up, like the pain. Like we see some, we
Yo,
we in tough,
it's crazy.
we cracking up, looking at Joker's face all twisted up, eyes all bent, singing that song, bro.
So remember they finally made the single in the release party, the record going right then. And we get the release party in New York, it's going crazy. So I'm standing next to you, Tough, and I think Reggie was with me, and Reggie taps me, right? Reggie was like, yo, look at this. He looking at it's rappers in there like Nas and Capone and Noriega. It's like rappers in there singing. I wish, yo. Reggie was like, yo,
Yeah.
you got a hip hop record that's
Yes.
really an R&B record, but it's really a hip hop record.
With a gospel
And that's
feel.
what my whole movement is built on, because that's the same thing with Dave Hollister, One Woman Man. It's R&B, but it's hip hop, man. It's like
All right.
that's why I really never worried about producers jacking me,
Mhm.
because they didn't live my experience. You know what I'm
Damn,
saying? Like I was in the
beautiful way to
spots.
put it. That's a beautiful way
Yeah,
to
they
put
ain't
it.
live my experience is different.
That shit was dope.
I'm running around with y'all in Roseland in the tunnel and these different things, but that
Mhm.
was already taught. My movement was already what that was. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I
Mhm.
can listen to Commission and Wu-Tang back to back, and it's
Yeah,
normal for me.
yeah, yeah, man.
So
Um,
my whole energy is different.
yeah. You mentioned Dave Hollister, and
Right.
you're your discography is amazing. Just in terms of the level of talent, the quality of talent, legends in the game. And I just, how, how do you said how you met Brandy, but how like a relationship like a Brandy, a Dave Hollister, Sunshine Anderson is a very unique relationship that you've nurtured throughout it, and Anthony Hamilton, like these different
Right,
a channel live, these different relationships, you know, are early even before the blow up. A lot of these relationships, it's like you've been
right.
grinding, and so talk about some of those connections and what they mean to your career.
Well, it's crazy because like the thing with Carl record, we had did I wish.
Hmm.
I think spring '99, June.
Hmm.
Now here's a crazy thing that a lot of people don't know, and I'm a sports fan, right?
Hmm.
And I was living in Durham, North Carolina back in the day. So when we did I wish, right around that time, I was supposed to go to the NBA draft with the homie. You know who the homie is
Elton
Elton
Brand,
Brand,
Elton Brand, Breezy.
right?
Yep.
I ain't seen Elton in years, but that's him and Corey. Those are my guys, right?
Corey Maggette,
So
yes,
I was
sir.
supposed to go to the draft and yeah, I was supposed to go to the draft, right?
Mhm.
I couldn't go to the draft because it was time for me to pop my career off. But I used to be kicking the dumb over at Duke and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just the relationship that you have.
Mhm.
It just happens. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going to happen. It just happens,
Mm.
right?
Wow,
I
occurred.
move out to LA. I
Mhm.
moved to LA. Corey get traded from uh Orlando Magic.
To the
The next
Clippers.
year, Elton get traded from Chicago. Yeah, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So it's
Wow,
like,
party over here.
so when people start saying like, how'd you start going to the Clippers games? I started going to the Clippers game because of those dudes and Big
Wow.
John Platt. He was like, "Yo, get you some season tickets. You can see everybody." So it's like it's a whole 360. But the relationship with Dave Hollister, obviously, I was already a fan of Dave, right? So
Mm.
I get out here, and that's when I linked up with the OG Gerald Busby, right?
Mm. Rest in
Because if you
peace.
remember in New
Salute,
York,
salute, salute.
if you remember in New York, we started messing with Breon way back in the day. Remember?
Early. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Big
we
shout out to
started.
Breon.
So when we see Breon do, we've known Breon for years. So it's
Yeah.
like it's
Mm.
just we crack it up,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So I'm working with Breon and with the girl Deja,
Mm.
and by doing that, Dave was already on DreamWorks, and
Deja. Ah, I missed
yeah,
that voice,
remember?
bro. Yeah, that voice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm working with the girl Deja
Uh, ah.
with Timmy Regisford and Breon and them. So by
Mhm.
that time, I moved to LA because we actually did Heard It All Before in '99, even though it came out in 2001.
One,
Remember?
yeah. Mm.
We did that early. So
Mhm.
we kind of had that record in the pocket.
Because that
So
what.
we knew Sunshine was gonna do something.
Mhm. No,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, not to cut you with some. Go ahead.
it's all good.
No, I was going to talk about Anthony Hamilton, Soul Life, that because you were doing some stuff with
Yeah.
Mark Spark. Yeah.
Once again, the relationships. Chris Dawley, who I grew up with,
Jersey.
started. So yeah, started. Come on, man. Me and Chris used to play pal basketball in fifth grade.
Right.
Like we was in junior high. That was my
Yeah.
guy from
It's
way back when we younger,
another
right?
Willingboro legend.
Yeah.
That's why I say the
We go
Willingboro
back.
brand is out there, bro. I be running in jokers.
Yeah.
They be like, I'm from Willingboro. Hey, you from Willingboro too, huh? Like, yo, that's so tough.
Yeah. So Chris and Spark had started Soul Life.
Mhm.
So we kind of shifted everything to LA. You know what I'm saying? So kind of like it's crazy because I didn't get the feel I wish in New York. I felt it on the West Coast. I didn't feel the ground zero of
Mhm.
I wish.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Remember after the video shoot, I kind of moved. Remember?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, 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 yeah. Right
and the
after, yeah.
video shoot was the same. Right. The video shoot was the same weekend as the All-Star game in Oakland, and that's why Puff wasn't at the shoot. Remember?
Yeah, I
It was
forget
the
all that
All-Star
stuff.
game in Oakland.
A lot of
Yeah.
months ago. I forget. My bad.
Because I wanted to go to the shoot. I wanted to go to I wanted to go to the All-Star game.
Mm.
Matter of fact, y'all did too, but Carl was like, "Y'all, we got the video shoot this weekend." And I think Marcus Rayboy did. He's like, "We got the time. Let's do it." So we
Yeah,
stuck around for that video shoot.
yeah,
But no,
yeah. It was a great.
it's just the relationships, man. Like the relationships, and I think with those great artists, when they respect what you do, it makes the relationship and it makes everything better. You got to come in prepared, and you got to, once again, your 10,000 hours. You got
Yeah.
to come in prepared. So when you look at my discography, you're right. I've worked with some of the best singers ever, but I came in prepared. You got to be prepared to work with a Dave Hollister, a Brandy, a Layla Hathaway, a Karen Clark, Yolanda Adams, Gerald. You know what I'm saying? Like these. I mean, let me jump forward and tell you
Yeah.
the story
And I
how
have
the
and
whole
I
thing
have a
goes.
name
Go
I
ahead.
want to throw, and I have a name I want to throw at you that doesn't get talked about enough. And I want to, but for your story, hop in first, then I'll throw later.
So so we're gonna jump around a little bit because that's what we're gonna do, right? So look,
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time I was at a brunch at the Beverly Hills Hotel, right? And and I had already known Warren Campbell and everything because Warren dope and everything. So I got this joint that I had did. I had cut two joints with Karen Clark Sheard, but she was only taking one of them, right? And I was like, yo, this will sound crazy on Mary Mary. I love their voices, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I told Warren and Erica, come get in the car. I got something to play for y'all. I played the joint. Warren said, play it again. I played it again. We was in Soundcastle cutting that record that week.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the game is when you on point. Like, you know what I'm saying? When the energies collide,
Mm-hmm.
it's just what it is. Like when the stars align, that's just what it is. So like I don't even trip off of not having been on some of the records. It's just it wasn't supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like it still could happen, but it just wasn't supposed to be and everything. Like, you know, a lot of people are, and even we talked about this before. I'm actually kind of surprised that me and Mary never did a joint. Like I wrote for Mary on the
Mm-hmm.
game joint, don't worry. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But but me and Mary had never got it in. And she knows it because she knows my energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
She knows I'm on the boom back. You from
Yeah.
Yonkers, you know what
You
we
know the
what we
yeah.
would do. Like
Head
that's nothing.
nod, soul.
Come on,
Head
that's what
nod,
this is.
soul, pain. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's you know what I'm
So
saying. So
soul
so
food.
outside of Mary, it's kind of like I'm not, like everybody else. Like I willed myself to work with Layla Hathaway. I
Mm.
went to one of her shows and I got backstage and I was like, we gotta work.
Yeah.
She
Now,
know who I was.
what year was this when you first met Layla Hathaway? When you first approached her? Because you guys have been pretty tight for a minute.
I
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys are tight.
well, she sung on Sunshine first album, so it was before the album came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to one of her shows at the Baked Potato down here in Studio City,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't even a show. She was just doing somebody a favor, and I banged on her because she didn't sing this record I wanted her to sing. And I
Yeah.
went back there banging her. I said, "How you not gonna do Baby Don't Cry?" And I'm coming back, right? So I was like, "Whatever, we got to get in the studio." So you know what I did? I took my own money, I booked some sessions, and I got her in the studio with me
Wow. There you go. Yeah.
because it was important for me to work with her.
Yeah. Investment. You're investing in yourself. You're investing in the
Yeah,
project, but you're investing in yourself. You're betting on yourself, is what you said earlier. You know,
yeah,
and
you know what I'm saying? It
yeah.
was important for me. And the thing about that is her record, it didn't go gold or platinum. I've been blessed to produce a whole bunch of gold and platinum records, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that I work with Layla Hathaway
Mm,
is big to me.
mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, so that's how I feel about like a record like Temptation. That it's like it's an underground,
oh, y'all album was crazy. We had
it's
fun.
an
Come on,
underground.
man.
No, with Latifah, Black Rob,
Black Rob,
Black Rob. Rest
rest
in
in peace,
peace.
Black Rob.
Rest in peace, Black Rob. Temptation, Ghetto Business with Method Man, Lies and Rumors with Carl Thomas, Say What with Benny Boom as an MC.
And And remember,
Check
Miss
that one
Toy's
out.
my homie, and I got Miss Toy on the record.
Yeah, put it on a nigga. Put it on a nigga.
And that wasn't
Put it
that
on
wasn't even my
shit on a
beat.
nigga. No, Buddha and Shamello.
Ro-
Rest in peace, Shamello. Big shout out to Buddha. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So it's like it's the relationships and everything, but honestly, it's like at the end of the day, you can't fool these great artists, right?
Mm.
Either you got something to you or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like because like I can't believe I know Stevie Wonder. That still trips me out to this day.
Wow. See, all right. Can I
That's
jump? Can I jump on a way off tangent? Can I just jump way over there? Just
okay.
jump way over there.
Okay.
Right.
Let's go.
Right. Because
We can jump. Let's go.
when you say when jokers say goat, who the goat? Who the goat? Who the goat? And jokers start talking rappers, and you look at the body of work, catalog, uh, longevity, the movement of culture. You say a name like Stevie Wonder. Oh my God. You know what I mean? That's when you say a name like
Like you can't even compare him to anything. He's one of one.
yeah.
He's just one of one,
Mm,
and it's crazy because I remember what one time, and this was back when we had two ways, right?
mhm.
So I know Stevie Wonder from Kavon Evans. Me and Kavon Evans were working on some joint. Evans working on some joint, and I was like, Kavon, let's get Stevie Wonder. Let's go different. Let's get Stevie Wonder on harmonica. He was like, let's do it. I'm looking at him like, oh, you go? It's like that, baby. You know what I mean? So he called Stevie and everything. And then the craziest part is I get there and I'm two-waying everybody like, oh snap. I was like, yo, because I'm not gassed. We done been in New York with everybody, but I was like, Stevie Wonder is different, man. Like this Stevie Wonder. So I get there, Stevie Wonder know my joints. And I'm like, yo, if it all in the day, I did my job. You know what I mean? Because it's like, that's the guard. That's Stevie Wonder. You know what I'm saying? Like,
If Stevie Wonder know your shit, nigga, he know your shit. Now I heard no, I know your shit. Man, that's amazing, bro. That's amazing. So
another example. Hold on, one more time. I'm in Mr. Child one time. I walk in there and I see Mary. This is back when she was with Ken Do, right?
mhm,
I see, and I know Ken Do from y'all,
mhm,
obviously, from when he was with Latifah. So I walk in there, I see Mary, she eating with Ken Do with her brother and Elton John, right?
mm.
So Mary introduced me to her.
Fucking Elton
She said,
John, my nigga.
Mike, this is my brother. She said, this is my brother. I was like, peace, you know what I'm saying? I was like, Ken Do, what's good, baby?
Uh,
And I'm Elton John. And
it's
Elton
just it.
John starts singing Heard It All Before.
Ooh.
I'm like, what the blood clot? You know what I'm saying? Like, we up in Mr. Child. Elton John starts, like, I love Heard It All Before.
Ah,
And I'm sitting there like, wow, you just don't know. Like, you just don't know.
wow, that's
Like Redman
crazy.
sang, Redman came up to me one time. He said, coming home late. It seems you barely, I'm like, Red, you really can sing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, but it's like you don't know how certain joints affect people.
Yeah. But now just notice how you went.
It's crazy.
You notice you went Stevie, you went Mary, you went Elton, you went Redman, all one of one. And how we have this GOAT conversation and we're always comparing this one. And there's a platform called Versus, which is amazing. Big shout out to Swiss Beats and Timbaland for creating something that has reinvigorated the culture, in my humble opinion. And not just because I was on the Joker.
Yeah, big love.
Though I did, that was a dope look. But just,
And those are two good dudes too.
great dudes. Big shout out to
Yeah.
them. But the in the culture there's this always competing, and it's tearing down and it's discounting, and it's, I mean, when you say the GOAT, you talk about a Stevie, a Mary, Elton John, a Redman, all could be considered GOATs, one of ones. And do we do ourselves a disservice by being so competitive all the time?
You know what? I don't know because that competition gets you going.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like, because like you said, we're from right in the heart of hip hop, right?
mhm.
You know, we're from Jersey. We're over the bridge. For the hold on, Mike, hold on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You sound a little muted, but I can still hear you.
I'm
Okay,
back on now. It went off a
there,
little bit.
there
So
you go.
we're from right there. We're all jumped up. You know, for the longest of time, New York tried to step on Jersey. You know what I'm
Mhm,
saying? Then we had to go get our respect. Same with Philly. But so we have that edge and everything, right? So a lot of it to me really is irons and knives sharpening each other. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is to me, right? Because it's just making you better, and you got to stay on your p's and q's and everything. That's why when
mhm,
when y'all did the verses with Chris and Kane, I
mhm,
love that they both guys and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like they both had their own thing. Like
mhm.
Kane appealed to women. Chris was boom bap. You know what I'm saying? And they both got lyrics and everything. I've known Kane a long time too,
Yeah.
because Kane moved to Durham way back in the day. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying?
How long have you known
So
Kane? How long have you known him?
I've
Just
I've I've known Kane probably as long as I've known you,
damn, it's
like
crazy.
95 ish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm,
Yep. I,
that's
I
dope.
don't see him that much no more. I mean, I catch a few of his shows when he come out here and
Yeah.
everything. But
Yeah. I just did a show, two shows with him and Chris over the weekend. This past week in Atlantic City.
yeah, man, I mean, come on,
Yeah.
legends, legends and everything. So I think it's iron sharpen iron and everything, and you got to just be
Mm,
on point and everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I just think that's what it is, man. Like you know, and Dre, my OG. When Dre send
mhm.
me something, I got to get in the lab and be on point, because that's just what it is.
Yeah. Oh,
I
I
got to do
mean,
my
yeah.
thing.
So, I mean, is there a difference between just a pride in the craft, right? And just like the peanut gallery, always going, oh, he's better than him, she's better than her, they're better than them, and not really appreciating artists or whoever it is for the value of their catalog, their music, what they're doing. We get
Yeah,
into a lot of
the peanut gallery, the peanut gallery is the peanut gallery,
uh-huh.
because as you know, there's the peanut gallery and then there's the league, and we play in the league. This is the
Mm,
league.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm doing joints and everything, those 10,000 hours they put usually, like, whether it take me an hour to do a joint or 2 weeks. Like, say for instance, like I wrote I Wish Fast, right?
how
It took me two
fast?
weeks to write. I wrote I Wish, that pain came out. So that might have been an hour fast. And then I went back and did the bridge. Maybe in another. You know what I'm saying? I went back and did that and everything. But the song, but I'm saying to say this, right? I took my time to write Full Moon, because at this point in time, Brandy's coming off of an album that sold 8 million copies. She's coming off of a smash TV show. And I'm like, I gotta get this right.
Mhm.
So I'll never forget when we doing Full Moon, I'm working on the joint. I think we at Larrabee, and she's like, "Yo, I'm gonna go to the Beverly Center for a few minutes. Why you doing that?" So she comes back. I got it going up, right? Or was we at the record plant? We might have been the record plant. With the record plant, she comes back. I got it going up. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm singing her the hook. She gets in the booth and is like, "Oh, we cutting this right now." So she goes cut that. So every day for 2 weeks, she's hitting me like, "Did you finish writing the record? Did you finish writing the record? Did you finish writing the record?" And it took me, I took my time. And then when it was finally done, we got it done and everything. But you know what I'm saying? It's just all just I don't a hit record. People say that a hit record got to come fast. That's BS.
Mm.
I've done it different ways.
Yeah, there's no formula. Well, there's no set
There
formula.
there is no set formula. The
Yeah.
people decide if it's hot.
Hmm. So, building off this conversation, you know, a Jay-Z versus a Drake, and we've had this conversation before, right?
We built on this.
Yeah, and that just music is different. Not music. Well, music is different, of course, but the way music is distributed, the way it's presented, the whole business structure is totally different. That on top
And the
of
texture is different. The
and
texture
the
texture
the
is different
texture,
too.
yeah, oh yeah, everything's different. So and doors that were not open for a Jay-Z or for a Run DMC for that matter, a Public Enemy, a NWA, there was doors, there was radio stations that wouldn't play your music. Now, because those doors have been kicked down, a Drake or whoever is now, once you get to that level, your potential reach is so much greater. You know, people go, oh, well, streaming. Yeah, but how many times did you have to tape something off the radio? How many people were taping things off the radio? How many times? And would those be considered streams? There's no way to quantify that in terms of the reach and the magnitude of a record that maybe didn't chart gold, but the impact of that record just. So when you start comparing artists in that way, it's like it's so hard to do that just by strictly numbers. Numbers don't always tell the whole story.
Or how many times did you almost lose your life going up in the tunnel, here and like feeling feeling what that energy is
Yeah.
in the bathrooms all together and everything all together, and just that whole feeling what that is versus now. Man, my thing is this, and I rock with Drake. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people in our generation, they might not rock with him, but you can't put those two together. I mean, I think Drake would get up there and fanboy out. And not only that, and yeah, honestly,
It really.
because you know what I'm saying, come like seriously, but the difference is it's hard to do different eras, right? Because I remember when people started saying that Kanye was the greatest hip hop producer, right? And I was saying to myself, y'all know Drake's still living, right? Like, like you you forgot about what he how he gets like. It's not like Aftermath and Death Row put out so many records. Like he comes with precision,
Yeah. Yeah. He's like,
right?
he goes back to the 80s. Guy's catalog
Yeah,
is
you know what I'm saying.
like, you
So
can't discount everything. People
right,
just,
so it's like, and obviously it's not even a knock on Ye. We know Ye. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a record with you. I had one too many drinks, ended up at the embassy. It's that record started out as a joke and ended up being a record.
crazy.
See, that's how stuff
Yeah,
happens
it's
though.
crazy.
With this pretty little thing from Memphis, Tennessee. It was a one night extravaganza. Listen,
One
and
night
Jamie recorded me
extravaganza.
singing that at his house one time, right? And he hits me back a few years later, like, yo, him and Breon hit me like, yo, what you on Tough doing? I said, we chilling. He's like, come up to the crib. So they up in there like, yo, we need this record. I was like, no, that's my record. I'm gonna bust this shot off. Because remember, even with the crawl stuff, all those was my records. So Tough was like, no, now you're a songwriter producer. Like, don't even worry about the artist stuff. Trust me on this. He said
Yo,
it's gonna work out. Trust me. Right?
yeah.
Remember we had that conversation. Don't even worry about the artist stuff. Just go do your thing. Right? So after time passed, because there's been times where I was supposed to do maybe an album at DreamWorks or
Uh-huh.
Electro, and I was like, hey, how about doing an album, this, that, and the third? And then I was supposed to get a situation in Interscope. So I would always think about popping my own album out. And I like to have fun. So me singing, I had one too many drink. That's my energy. Like literally, and ended up at the embassy. Cause I'm Mikey Dan.
Mikey Dan.
I'm the Black Steely Dan,
Mikey Dan. Damn, nigga.
right? So,
You should take
right, right,
you taking me back to memories right now. Fuck with y'all
right.
niggas.
So, with this
Oh
pretty little
shit.
thing from Memphis, Tennessee, just drawing it out, right? So, Jamie's like, I need that record. I said, you can't have that record, bro. Let's do something else. No, but I need that record because you know that's the BS of Adam Moore. He said, now I know that's what you on,
That's the
but you
BS.
know that that's the BS that I'm on.
That's the BS that I'm on. That nigga's
He
crazy.
said, and then he just yelled, he said, nigga, if you don't give me the record, I'm gonna sing the record like it's mine anyway. Now, mind you, he said, I'm about to win an Oscar. All I gotta do is stay out of trouble. I'm gonna win this Oscar. Right? So I relented and did the record and everything. And that's how we started doing that and everything. Because we used to go up to Jamie house and just, man, listen, I was there when Kanye played Jamie.
But to hone in on that, how did you meet? How did you guys meet? You and Jamie. I know you mentioned Breon. You talked about Ye, but before all that, how did you meet?
Right.
Him?
I met Jamie at the Improv one night on a humble. He was there heckling somebody sitting next to me, and I didn't know it was him.
Wow.
So we sitting there, whatever it is, and Jamie said, yo, I'm buying everybody rounds. Let's go. So he buying everybody drinks, and he heckling somebody. And then, straight up, and then what happened, we might exchange numbers and everything. I think one night I might have went up to his crib with Corey and Elton or something like that. We might have went up there like that. So I've been knowing him since back then. Relationships just be forming and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, and even before we did the record, when he was down there shooting Ray in New Orleans with Regina, he called me one night, nigga, get down here to fly down here to New Orleans. I got it popping. Fly down here. I was like, yo, first of all, I'm in the bed. I'm not alone. And you're loud. Like, what's going on? Say? He was like, oh, my bad, dog. You know what I'm saying? So Jamie, he's wilding, right? Right. So he's wilding. He calls me like, so we go back to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw his old manager, Marcus King, in the gym today. Everything is, how it is out here, Hawk. It's like everything is like moving parts. It's like I could be in anywhere and run into somebody. I remember the last time, God bless the dead, the last time I saw what's my man who did Boys in the Hood? The director.
John Singleton. No, you talk.
The last time I saw, John Singleton.
John Singleton.
The last time I saw John Singleton, I was up in Pavilions on the Humble. And he was like, City, I told you need to get me. You see I'm winning people with Oscars. You see what happened with 3-6. Rock with me, dog. Rock with me. You know what I'm saying? So, you're just running to people. It just happens and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like me and Jamie go back to that. So he ended up doing the record and everything. And it was fun because back then they was telling him he couldn't do it. But Jamie ended up doing a few million albums, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he recouped and everything. Like, it was really good looking and everything. And I'm happy to be a part of that and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's just those relationships where it's like, and I'm not an in your type of face type of dude, right? But if I call Jamie right now, it's all love. City, what we doing? That's just how I move. But that's how we was moving through New York when we was creeping through the cracks. We hit you, and we keep it moving.
Yeah. Keep it all love. Keep it moving. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Now, like, off on another tangent, right?
Okay.
When you see a Jamie Foxx, you see and I'm not putting them necessarily in the same, but just a Denzel Washington, right? A Will Smith, a Jay-Z, a Dr. Dre, there's so many Black people, men and women, who are doing great things, tremendous things. We get the dialogue going on Facebook. We always chiming in, but coming from where we come from, seeing life the way we saw it growing up in the 80s, right, the 90s, to
Yeah,
see the
we come from free lunch, Hawk.
yeah, right, exactly, exactly, right. When you we're moving on a whole nother different, a whole different level, you know, like how does that feel? Your life has been transformed in a lot of ways, you know. That music has been a vehicle to transform your life, and now we don't look at it this way, but sometimes I step back and I go, man, black people have come a long way, and I'm connected to some pretty dope black people, I must say, as you are as well.
Yeah, I feel the same. It's a blessing, Hawk, because you're right. I feel like, honestly, I feel like I'm 3 calls away from anybody in Black Hollywood or music industry. I feel
Hmm.
like I'm three, maybe two. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, and that's all the work that we put in, but that's also having the right energy too, because you know what I'm saying? Like, if you get up here and you acting too fly and everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've had the same energy with people when I didn't have a hit, when I had a hit, didn't have a hit. When they rock with you, they rock with you. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And it's like that goes a long ways and everything. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna always be #1 on the chart.
Hmm.
No one is. The greatest has not always been #1 on the chart. You know what I'm saying? But if you got good energy and you're a good person,
Hmm.
people can see that and it'll shine through. And you can't fake that quality either. Because if you want some BS and an asshole or something, it's gonna come out. You can't
Hmm.
fake that. You can't fake that
Hmm.
funk.
Yeah,
So you
man.
know what I'm saying? Like, and the other thing with this music thing is I learned, like, even back when we was moving around, like, don't take yourself too serious. Just have some fun.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, have some fun. You know the game is like this. It's a roller
Enjoy
coaster. You
life.
have some fun,
Yeah. Do
enjoy
what you
life.
enjoy life. Make sure you keep a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yup.
So what you got going on right now? What are you working on right this second?
Man,
You got
listen.
some music out there right now.
Yeah, because what I started doing is I started noticing that when what is it? When iTunes started popping off,
Hmm.
a lot of labels, they don't really want to pay you what you're worth. Okay? So they wanna use you up, but they don't want to pay you what you're worth.
Hmm.
So I got married, had kids and everything, started, living life and everything, enjoying life and everything. But I decided to take a different approach. I started creating content, and I started getting into the film and TV world,
Hmm.
doing stuff like that and everything. And I'm just creating projects, and I still do records. I was like, obviously, I'm gonna work with the Shy.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I got to.
Hmm.
I'm like the fourth member of the Shy if you really keep it 100. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Carl, Dave,
Dave,
Donnell, and
wow.
me.
How many songs in the can right now?
Hold up. Are we back? Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm like the fourth member,
mm.
unofficial member, even though I ain't from Chicago, because I work with all those guys and it's all my guys, right? Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna work with them.
Hmm.
It's crazy. Ruben started hit me last night. So I think I'm
Whew.
gonna rock with Ruben.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noel. Yeah, Noel's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Uh so and me and him go back and everything. Who else just hit me? Oh, I'm gonna work with Mesa. And
Hmm.
then, like, I think me and Layla gonna try to do something, but these are all people, and me and Brandy even talk, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's all love and everything, but I try to create some stuff right now
Hmm.
that I can own,
Hmm.
that my kids can own. And I found out, you've been in the studio, I can always get back here and make my own records and create my own thing and everything.
Hmm.
And they might not go gold or platinum with everything, but if I hit the right licensing joint,
Hmm.
it's like gold and platinum.
Hmm.
So we got to play on that side of the business right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, and I just did a theme song and composed for a TV show with a superstar. I can't talk about it just yet, but it's a superstar one of the most known people in the world. They got a show coming, and I was able to do the theme song and be the composer on there.
Nice, nice. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Or is it? You said not yet, or or you can. It's locked in. You
No,
just can't talk about it right now.
they're gonna make no. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be the one to make the announce. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be
Mhm,
announced soon, and the
mhm.
show's probably going to come on. I think February or
Got you,
March.
got you, got you, got you. Congratulations. Yes,
But
sir.
they're a
Yes, sir.
superstar.
Yeah. Somebody's asking me,
Yeah.
where's the other rapper that raps with you from Madism? Tough to God.
Hopefully he's watching. Hopefully he's watching. But I talked to Tough earlier. Man, listen, like that's the thing about it. And obviously you and Tough go back, but like with Tough, Ed, like my people, and even my man LP, I got a bunch of friends that I rock with. They won't let me be whack because if I send them some whack, they're gonna tell me it's whack.
Mhm.
And it's their civic duty to tell me I'm out of pocket. So
That's real.
I gotta be in pocket, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's just what comes along with it and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been fortunate enough to do this a long time, and it's just a blessing and everything. You know what I'm saying? Had some highs, had some lows.
Mhm.
Like when I lost my mom back in the day, I didn't even really know if I wanted to do this no more. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So
Mhm,
yeah, you know what I mean? Because it's like you get like an empty feeling and everything, but
mhm.
life goes on, and she's with me. And as you know, I lost my pop
Well,
last year,
yes, rest in peace as well.
but I'm blessed in everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm back in the gym. You know what I'm
Mhm,
saying? I'm not telling nobody else what to do about getting vaccinated. I'm vaxxed. I'm
mhm.
boosted up.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
Like what?
saying?
Like what?
I'm doing
Likewise.
my thing. I lost
Mhm.
30 pounds
That's a
because I
great
got
thing.
fat during
That's
COVID.
a great thing. So talk about that for a second. Health and wellness, because I see you back in the gym. You posting pictures. You ain't telling nobody else what to do, but you leading by example, and that's a great thing. So you want to shed some light on
Yeah,
what was it besides I got fat during COVID? Was it?
I took a well a couple things when I was building with you on it, and I actually was going to document it, right. So the top of last year, Andre Young, better known as Dr. Dre, was going to start training me 3 days a week.
Mm,
Right, he got the gym of life, so we had built and
but of
everything, and
course.
I was going to start training with him like 3 days a week,
Uh-huh.
getting right and everything.
Hmm.
He up jumps and have an aneurysm, right? So I'm like, yo, what's happening right now? My man's supposed to train me so I can get right. I'm thinking he's right. And obviously, I don't know what's going on, but it scared the daylights out of me, right?
Hmm.
You know, and I'm seeing a homie, I'm talking to him in the hospital, and I'm seeing him hooked up to machines. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this ain't real. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And he started cracking jokes, and it kept me from shedding a tear because I didn't like what I was seeing.
Oh man, you
He
made
started
light of
cracking
it.
jokes. He
Yeah.
made light of it, right? Because everybody else that I knew had aneurysm had passed away,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So
Serious.
then in the summer, I was so then in the summer, I was like, I was like, I took a picture with my daughter. I was like, I'm out here like Fat Albert right now. I'm out of pocket. So what I did, like, you can't fat shame nobody else, but you can damn sure fat shame
As in
yourself.
yourself. Yeah.
You can fat shame yourself.
Yes,
I
sir.
fat shame
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, and you can skinny shame yourself too, by the way.
You can you can
Cause
do that too. You know what I'm saying?
yo,
So you're
cause
just trying to,
I'll be looking at some old pictures of myself and I'll be like, oh man, it was bad, bro. So
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
health and wellness ain't always about weight.
no, it's just it's like, and your diet plays a big part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So obviously, I'm doing the greens, the stuff. You know what I'm saying? I
Good.
cut out the soft drinks and stuff. I'm
Hmm.
heavy on the water.
Hmm.
B12. You know what I'm
Good.
saying? Got the
Hmm.
B12 popping off.
Hmm.
um, and just the protein, obviously, and just trying to eat at separate times during the day. And I try to get an hour of cardio in a day.
Good.
I ain't drinking liquor. Like only time I might have a drink or something. Me and wifey go to Vegas or something.
Hmm.
Other than that, I'm coherent. I'm here, man.
Hmm.
I could have been a designated driver most times. Now
Good.
I've had some celebrations where I shouldn't
Yeah,
be.
yeah,
I don't win hard a few times, but
yeah.
for the most part, that's not
Hmm.
my movement. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to pick and choose what you want to do and everything. I'm 52 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, but basically, if I cut all this gray hair off, I still like I did when I was
Nah, you got the
42
baby
40.
face. You got the baby face.
Right. You know what I'm
You
saying?
still look young. You know what I mean? So
And I
you
just
don't look
started
beat
getting gray
down.
almost when I was 50.
Wow, wow. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you with a beard or no shadow or nothing. You keep it low cut, like pretty much.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But during quarantine, I
Hmm.
was looking like He-Man.
Wolfman.
I was looking like Captain Caveman.
Yeah, everybody
I was
was
out of pocket.
right.
Oh,
Oh,
yo, we got to shout out Jimmy Love too. Because Jimmy Love played a big part of I
OG.
Wish popping off. And that's my OG. You know what I'm saying? Like he taps in with me
Yeah,
and everything. I love that dude.
yeah, that's my
You know what I
guy,
mean?
Jimmy Love. Nah, he's OG for real. Somebody you can always depend on to give you a great outlook on a situation. So many times I have
No
to tap
question.
in with that brother. So salute to him.
No question.
Jimmy Cozier was a name I wanted to throw at you.
I
Ah,
wanna tell y'all about my old
yeah,
lady. Sometimes I think she's really crazy. She blacks out at the drop of a dime, but she's still my baby. She likes to get into confrontation.
Mm.
Yeah, man, you know what it is.
Yo, so how'd you hook up with Jimmy Cozier, bro?
Yo, if you remember, Haitian Jack was managing Jimmy Cozier.
Mhm.
So that's a whole another movie. But
Uh-huh.
me and Jack, once again, my energy. Listen, I done been around Jack. I done
Mhm.
been around Suge. I move how I move. Like,
Mhm.
I move how I move. So, but Ron Gilliard, peace to Ron Gilliard. He was
Peace.
A&R that Ron obviously from Bad Boy. He
Yeah.
moved over to J Records.
Mhm.
He moved over to J Records and it's just crazy because once again Mario, he got signed singing I Wish,
Mario. That I didn't
right?
know.
He got signed singing I Wish, right?
Wow.
So so he was like Ron was like, yo, I got this
That's
guy I want
crazy.
you to work with, blah 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 blah. So Jimmy didn't come to the no, Jimmy might have came to the house, but I think they when I was living in Beverly Hills, Jimmy came with Jack. So we played the joint and everything, and I was like, oh, we want that. But Jimmy actually cut his vocals in New York. I wasn't even there when Jimmy cut it. He cut it. He heard he got the demo, and he
Mhm.
cut it, and he did a great job. I didn't have no changes. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I begged J Records and I begged Clive and oh, because this what happened too. I think me and Tuff was in the cabana meeting with Clive and Larry, what's my Larry name? Larry the A&R from the Bay, Larry Jackson.
Larry
We was
Jackson.
meeting with Clive and Larry. Yeah, we was meeting
Mhm.
in the cabana, and Clive played me a Jimmy Cozier song, and they had used the same sample. That it's a cold, cold, cold world.
World.
The Carl joint. I said,
Mhm.
y'all can't really win with
In
that.
my
Carl got
life.
that.
Mm.
Carl got that.
Mm.
They was like, give me something better. I said, all right, I will. Let's do it.
Wait, that's dope. That's
I was
fly.
like, I
That's
said, I
fly.
will. So I went to that bag and everything. So I was like, I want to switch it up and everything. And honestly, Hawk, when you think about it, I pride myself on doing different things because I wish is not heard it all before. Heard it all before is not she all I got. She's all I got. She's all I got is not full moon. Full moon is not them haters with Rihanna. Rihanna is not Usher hottest thing. I got different things, and all of that differentness that I do, it actually really helps me with all the TV stuff that I do.
Mm.
Like, bro, like you know how big of a show BMF is, right?
Yeah, the biggest.
I'm on BMF spitting bars. Only people like you know that I can rhyme though.
You're a songwriter. Of course you can rhyme.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
so I just use all of my different things
Hmm.
to pull it all together, man. But no, that came together. I begged them to let me do more on the album, but I
Hmm.
think the album, the budget was done and everything by then. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's like crazy, man. Like me and Alicia Keys, I was supposed to be on that first album. Like our timing got off. I
Hmm.
was working with Brandy and she was finishing her album because basically that was her album that she came with from Columbia. And I think she did a few more joints. But I remember clear as day, we was at the record plant chopping it up and we supposed to do different joints. You remember I took you to a meeting with Beyonce. I took you to the meeting with Beyonce for yo, you was in there answering questions like you was gonna produce. She was asking you, and you took over the meeting. I was like, "What's happening right now?" And you was fresh off a plane too. Oh, that was so
Yeah,
hilarious.
it was a very relaxed environment. You know,
No, it was.
it was a very welcoming environment, and I appreciated being there.
No, it was.
It was dope.
It
Yeah,
was.
yes, sir. Oh man, so I gotta get you talking about hip hop, bro. Like in terms of your
Let's
inspirations
go.
when it comes to inspiration, your inspiration when it comes to this hip, because you know I know what it is. You know,
Right.
people check Armageddon. Please check Armageddon. Please check Armageddon. Um, talk about the boom bap, man. Talk about how you know like why is that your expression when you do really anything really you got the boom bap edge to you.
Yeah, like,
What
see, that's the thing about it. Like, so my whole R&B sound. That's why I never was. I touched on it earlier. I never was really worrying about people jacking me because they haven't lived my experience, right?
Mhm, mhm.
I was in After Midnight in Philly when King's son was, hey love, hey love. I
Mhm.
was in the spots,
Wow.
right? I
Mm.
was in the spots in Jersey. I was in New York. When I was in North Carolina, I'm in the gully spots with the grimy people. I'm down to Jack the Rappers when Wu Tang performed. I met Old Dirty and Tupac basically 2 minutes apart
So
at Jack the Rapper.
who's your favorite MC of all time?
I don't know how I go back and forth. Like, cause sometimes it'll be Biggie, sometimes it'll be Chris.
Mm.
And rest in peace. I've had many conversations with Fife. Fife said, yo, KRS-One came through and he killed Queens. He still was my favorite MC. This is from Fife. Who
Yo,
who rep
yeah,
Queens more?
yo, I let me not go out there on a limb, but I'm gonna say damn near every Queens MC I know, favorite MC is KRS-One. 50, his favorite
Fife
MC
was
is
like, yo,
KRS-One.
he said, yo, I'm from Queens. I am Queens. I embody Queens. He dissed the hell out of Queens. And KRS-One is my favorite MC.
MC, yeah, yeah,
That's what
yeah.
Fife said.
Man,
Rest in
crazy.
peace, Fife.
Now
So you know what I'm
Biggie,
saying? Like, and
but
and
Biggie,
about Biggie though, right?
Biggie.
I met Biggie in North Carolina.
Mm,
See,
damn.
everything be full circle, bro. Biggie was down there. I met Biggie. I was in North Carolina. Biggie was in
When he
Raleigh
was
and
doing
Durham
that,
hustling.
wow, that's crazy. That I
Yeah.
another something else I didn't know. Damn. So all those little stories, you was literally like right there when he, those
It's just so
out of
many
state
things be
OT. You know what I mean?
yeah, like even being on state is like
It's
I
crazy.
was where I was supposed to be because if I wasn't in North Carolina, maybe I don't make Heard It All before because I got a heavy dose of go-go from being where I was. Now, even though we was in Jersey, one of the first 12 inches I ever bought was a record by Tilt Arcade Funk. That was a go-go record, right?
Mhm.
So I was on go-go as a youngin, but when you in college, you're on go-go. You know why you're on go-go? Because the girls shake their butt to go-go. That's what it is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you get involved. That's what it is.
He
Shout out
said-
to Shout out to
Yeah.
North Carolina Central University. Y'all know what it
He
is.
said, you get involved.
You get involved, right? So we be there and we go to
uh,
parties at Shaw St. Aug, but we
mhm.
be at Duke partying. I done been at NC State partying,
And that
A&T,
and
Winston Salem, Johnson
that's a
C. Smith.
whole nother
Our whole movement is
vibration.
different.
That North Carolina College Central
Yeah,
with do NC State, all that, right? Not NC
yeah.
State, North Carolina. What's it? Was it North Carolina Central University?
No, A&T,
A&T.
right?
Uh-huh.
You got UNC Greensboro, and you got High Point College, but then you got Bennett College, the all girls college in Greensboro. It doesn't stop,
Mm, mm, mm.
right?
So Go-Go
So
was the
so so imagine a youngin. Rest in peace to one of my best friends, John Atwater. He's the reason why I went to North Carolina Central because his mom and dad went there, and he was on my head. Yo, come down and visit North Carolina Central, right? Come down and visit with me. So we go to UNC. We go to UNC first to visit there. So we in the dorm. I'm kicking it with J.R. Reed and Scott Williams back in the day. We back there kicking it,
J.R.
you know what I'm
Reed.
saying? Yeah,
It's like
we kicking it with them, right? So,
early.
but then I go to North Carolina. I go to North Carolina Central. I go in the yard and I see all these sounds of blackness. I'm like, what is happening?
He said
And
something.
all you see, it was just the sounds, just beautiful women, right?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like it was just crazy, Hawk. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to go to Rutgers. I think I applied to Rutgers.
Mhm.
I didn't want to go to Dell State because I felt like Dell State, I might got in trouble because I know everybody went to Dell State was like me being in high school. Like that was an extension of me. I might have went down there and blacked out, right? So
Uh,
I started thinking about different colleges. I looked at Widener. I
mm,
looked at Lincoln.
Jersey, yeah.
I looked at Howard and Hampton, North Carolina Central, Winston Salem. I even thought about Miami, but I couldn't afford it,
Mm,
right?
yeah. Getting back and
I
forth.
thought about Miami, but I couldn't. I couldn't afford it. I just couldn't afford it. They had won so much, I couldn't afford the tuition
Oh,
now, right?
the University of Miami.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
nah,
know what I'm
for
saying. I
real.
thought about. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, maybe I'll take my talents to South Beach back then, right? So, but I just I I just I just couldn't afford it, right? So when it came down to it, and then I was even in ROTC because
Mhm.
my
Wow.
stepbrother he went to the Air Force, right? So I was in ROTC for a while in high school. I didn't decide what I want to do. But yo, when I went to the campus of Central, it was like the light went off in my head. So right. So then it came down really to Central and Hampton.
Mm,
But Hampton wanted me to come to summer school.
mm.
I was like, there's no way I'm leaving Willingboro a week
Early.
after to go to Virginia for summer school. I want to kick it with my people.
Yeah.
Man, I went down to early orientation at Central after I initially visited, and that's when I linked up with Ed
Oh yeah.
and a few other of my people, and
The
it was
God, the
on
God, the
after
God,
that.
the
You know what I'm
God, the
saying?
God, the God, the God, the God, the
Yeah,
God,
my
the God.
boy Dev, my
Mm,
man Wes came down there, my man Jimmy and John. So we had a whole crew that went down there, and it was all love and everything. But you know what I was planning in my dorm room when I got there in that August of '87?
BDP.
Boogie Down Productions
Hey, that's it.
will
Always
always get
get
paid.
paid. We'll take
Will take the
whack
wackest.
your
Come on,
song
man.
and make it
I was rocking
better.
BDP.
And big shout out to brother Basil. DJ Basil is in the building. He says, "Peace, Mike City."
OG legend.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
OG
you know what
legend.
I'm saying? So so my hip hop roots. So basically when you put that together, my makeup is different than a lot because I grew up in the Pentecostal church. So I know harmony when I'm asleep, right?
Mhm,
I know different stuff in my sleep and that I've known
mhm.
probably since before I was 10 years old.
Crazy.
I know it. So
Mm,
I know that I grew up playing the drums and I was playing the bass because I don't really play the keys. I can play what I need to play. I actually
mhm,
play the bass, right?
mm,
But I got a whole different combination of stuff, which why my sound is my sound. And then you take my life experiences in,
Mhm.
and I'm the biggest Steely Dan fan. So I got like I got a, and then you know what
So,
I'm saying, you
oh,
throw me
hold on,
some
hold on.
Michael.
Why Steely Dan though? Mikey Dan. Why Steely Dan?
My brother injected into me when I was young by accident. My niece name is Aja. That's the name of Steely Dan's album, one of their albums. He named my niece Asia. So when I, and this is when I'm a youngin, right? So mind you, my brother is 11 years older than me, right?
Okay,
So by the
okay.
time he went to college, I was
Mhm.
already listening to all the Steely Dan from him playing it. Then I go out into the world, it became elevated music. So I'm 12 years old saying, Peg, won't you come back to me? I don't know why I'm singing it, but I already, that's already in me, and it won't never leave.
The program.
It was programmed in me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I got that side of me, but then I got the Clark sisters in commission, the Winans. I got that side, and mind you, I always say that they're the forefathers and the foremothers of 90s R&B, right? Their whole sound is why you got Boys the Men, Jodeci, and everything that came after that. That's the
Mhm,
Winans,
mhm,
that's Commission, and that's the Clark sisters. Shout out to Fred Hampton, and all. Fred Hammond and all those guys and everything. But that's the foundation of that, right?
mhm,
So you got that element, right? And then you got the Stevie Wonders and the Donny Hathaway. They pull on your heartstring and touch your soul, because I grew up in an urban city. Like, I moved to Willingboro, but half of my time was still spent in Philly. It's a lot of Philly is brotherly love, but Philly is a rough town, as you know. It's
mhm.
different, like, you know. But
That's right.
when you come together, it's the block parties and everything else.
Mhm.
You know, the fire hydrants, so we all that and everything,
Yeah.
right? So you got that together. Then you got the hip hop came up. So mind you, we're the same age. I'm 52 years old. We're like the first generation of real hip hop records.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like when we were 10 years old,
Rapper's Delight was banging.
Rappers Delight came out,
Yeah, Rapper's
right?
Delight
So
and then Super Rhymes.
we're engulfed in all of this going on. Like even when I went down south to go to college, they didn't have everything that we had that we were banging. But you know what they did have? They had bass music.
Mhm.
So you hearing everything, and you make everything your own gumbo of sound. So that's why, like, when I hear people came out, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I influenced radio at a certain point, but that's a blessing because I was influenced and everything. But even till today, I know how to go back and do what I do.
Mhm.
That's not because it's in me. I didn't
Mhm.
have to reach for it nowhere. That's just naturally in, that's my movement because
Yeah.
of the hip hop. So when you throw in Wu Tang and what the RZA was doing and everything else, it's like, okay, I belong in the league. And that was my whole thing. I never knew I was gonna have a hit record. I was like, you know what? I think I can be in the league. I think I can do this.
Mm.
And I gotta tell you a quick story, Hawk.
Well,
And
get
I've known Eric Nix for a long time too, right?
mhm, mhm.
Because
Big
I,
shout out
I
to
I
E
I met
Nicks.
him through somebody.
I'm sure he's
Big
tuning
shout out to
in.
Enix, right? So Eric Nixon was doing the Foxy Brown album. And Eric wanted me, because I had been sending them stuff. They wanted me to get on the Foxy joint, right? But as you know, I don't sample records, right?
Mhm.
So everything that I was doing, Eric was like, "It's dope, but it's not fitting what's going on." And he hit me one day. He said, "Yo, either you not gonna do nothing, or you gonna win, because your sound is crazy, but I don't know if everybody's ready for it yet." And as soon as I wish came out, he hit me. He said, "I told you." He said, because he said, and the fact that you stuck to your guns, it makes it even more potent. He told me that
Mhm.
back then. He said, "No, keep doing what you're doing." Because I was hurt. I was like, man, this Foxy Brown thing gonna blow up. She had just jumped off from Jay.
Mhm.
So I was like,
Mhm.
oh, it's my time to run with this right now. And he was like, no, just sample some stuff, chop it up and do it and everything. And I was like, but that's not my sound. And I didn't
Mm,
get on that album, but it helped me grow as a
that's
producer.
nice. Hmm. No, that's
Shout out
nice.
to E Nix.
It's sticking to your guns. That's
Yeah, stuck to my guns.
that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So we're about 2 hours in. Oh yeah, it's 11:55.
Okay.
And I'm sitting on a whole bunch of water right now. So we'll eventually do a part two. But nah, we're gonna get you on Matters in
Okay.
Sport. We're gonna get you on Matters in Sports because you're a huge sports fan, and that's a dope conversation. I got my homie KG West Cliff, and we chop it up every Tuesday. So we just gotta figure out what works for you and eventually get you on.
And yo, shout out to KG. KG, one of the most underrated producers there is,
Hmm.
but also he's a nice dude, man. He's a good dude, man. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm and if you notice, the dudes that last in the game really
Hmm.
are good dudes, man. You got to be a
Hmm.
good dude and everything. I made a post yesterday that being humble. Some people don't take your humble. Sometimes you got to flex on people and everything. Like, even back in the day and everything. Like, I think people like what? Because I didn't walk around with ice on my neck and everything.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But it's all good though because I'm blessed to have a catalog. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people can't say that.
Hmm.
But also special shout out to you and Tuffy because people don't understand how we was moving around the city, man. We was just moving around, like you said. People was getting smoked out, but you was like, yo, but my man got joints though. And we be up in Def Jam, we be here, we be there
Yeah.
and everything. And all
Hmm.
and all those no's, people was like, nah, they ain't no anymore. We gotta say, yeah, we gotta run with this.
Yeah.
We gotta
Yeah.
run with this and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like the whole combination, the dreads running around. I still say, I still say, I still say we knew when we was at that and we was at that Puff release party. And even then I gotta say this, and you was standing right there to the side. Puff asked me to be a hitman,
Hmm.
and I might not even had $3,000 in the bank at that time, Hop. But my spirit said, nah, it's not for me. I don't want to do it.
Hmm.
I got other things that I gotta get done.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? At first he looked at me, you was there, remember he looked at me, he was shocked. But then he was like, you know what?
Yep.
I respect that. I,
Hmm.
he said, I respect that. We always gonna be good because we talking this like a man and everything. I respect that. But I will say, when Sunshine came out, he hit me. He said, "Money
What?
hot.
Yeah.
Why is she
What?
not a bad boy artist? What is going on?"
Yeah.
Man, it's been a
Yeah.
blast, Hop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was a great time, bro. I appreciate these 2 hours, man. That shit was dope, bro. I needed this. I'm glad it
Shout
happened.
out to Carl, Dat
Yep.
Two, Rick,
Rick
everybody we was
Brown.
running around with.
Yeah.
You
Big
know what I'm
Mac.
saying?
Big shout out to Big Mac. Who else
Big
we got?
Mac,
Tough to God,
John.
of course.
Listen, obviously tough. John Monopoly was running around with us.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to John
Like people don't
Monopoly.
understand. Like
Malik
I've
Youssef.
known Ye for a minute. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Malik, he's like, so we all,
Yeah.
it's all like,
Yep.
it all
Big
go
shout out
back.
to Benny Boom. I shout him out.
Benny Boom, Benny
Who else?
Boom, no question.
We miss nobody. Malik Levy. We got Malik, right?
Latifah, Shakim,
Yep. Yep. Yeah, man.
Lakim, Lakim,
Lakin. Yeah, no doubt. Lati. Yeah, man.
Lati.
And Big Ed one more time.
Obviously, thank you for naming me, bro. You my heart. It's all black hearts.
Oh man. Big shout out to Big Ed, yo. Salute, salute, salute. Yo, this is your boy Hakeem Green. Channel Live, live and direct. BDP all day, every day. All we do is spark Mattism. This is Mattism TV. That's Mike City. Peace to everybody that tuned in. Dean, Brother Basil, Christopher Walsh, Turbo, everybody that shouted us out. Tamiko, I see you. Yeah. Yo, we out of here. Salute, bro. Peace.
Love is love.